Hello students, welcome back to all Scholar classes. So today I will be taking the part 2 of chapter 6, that is the solid, liquid and gases. Today we are going to discuss the different methods how we can separate solvent and solute from solution. So if you will refer the part 1 video, you will see that we have talked about solution. I will just give a small revision of the solution. So solution we have seen is a mixture of solvent plus solute. Okay, but in many of the cases what happens, this solute, the solid solute, it remains undissolved in water. Okay, so today we are going to study the separating insoluble solids from water. The solids that do not dissolve in water, we will study how we can separate them. Okay, so insoluble solids, like we have seen that sugar, salt, all these they dissolve in water, so they are soluble solids. And if we talk about insoluble solids, sand is there, or if you put mustard seed into the water, all these are insoluble solids. So we are going to discuss the separating method of those insoluble solids. Okay, so for insoluble solid, there are different things, different terms which are being today I am going to explain: sedimentation, decantation and filtration. All these three terms will come in separating insoluble solids from water. Okay, so firstly what we have to do, we have to take an insoluble solid plus water we have to take. Let's take an insoluble solid or sand. Let's take sand. Okay, so sand is what? It's a insoluble solid. And when you put this sand into a water, into a glass which is having water, in a glass we will take water and we will put this sand into that. What we will see, just keep that mixture still. That water, that beaker, we will keep it still. What we will see after some times, we will see that the sand, it settles down at the water. Okay, so this method where the sand or any insoluble solid that settles down to the bottom of a container, this method is called sedimentation. Okay, is sedimentation clear to you all? Sedimentation is what? जब हम किसी भी insoluble solid को water में डालते हैं, तो अगर हम उसको थोड़ी देर के लिए उस कंटेनर में छोड़ देते हैं, तो आप देखेंगे जो insoluble solid है वो उस कंटेनर के बॉटम पे जाके रह जाएगी, नीचे आ जाएगी. तो उस प्रोसेस को क्या बोले? Sedimentation. Okay, one important term you need to remember is sediment. सेडिमेंटेशन तो प्रोसेस था, जो ये प्रोसेस हुआ जिसमें कि पानी ऊपर है और नीचे आपके सेडिमेंट्स रह गए. जो नीचे इनसॉल्युबल सॉलिड रह गया, तो इनसॉल्युबल सॉलिड नीचे रह गया, उसको क्या बोलेंगे? सेडिमेंट. जैसे कि यहाँ पे सेडिमेंट क्या है? सैंड. इफ वी हैव टेकन मस्टर्ड सीड, व्हाट वाज द सेडिमेंट? मस्टर्ड सीड वाज अ सेडिमेंट. ओके, तो कोई भी इनसॉल्युबल सॉलिड जो आपने लिया जो कि नीचे सेटल डाउन whichever you want. Any container you can take, and you can check this experiment at your home also. So you will see that if you keep it still, don't disturb that settlement. Let it get settled down, don't disturb it. So after some time you will see the sediments have been settled down, and it is called as sediment, and the process is sedimentation. Fine. So now one thing there is this top layer. Okay, top layer is of water, bottom is of sand. Now what we need to do, we need to take this top layer, that is the water, the solvent, into some other container. Okay, so we can take some container and we can pour this water into that. So that process of pouring the water into some other container is what? Decantation. Okay, so like this we have separated from the solution both the things. Insoluble solute we have separated, that is the sediment, and from here we have removed the water. So both have been separated. So this process of separating the solvent is called as decantation. Okay, so the top layer that was clean, there is no sand in that, so that clean water is gently poured into some other beaker, and this process, another container in which we have taken that process is called as decantation. The sediment remains in the previous beaker only. Okay, so this was about sedimentation. Now comes filtration. Okay, so filtration is just like decantation only, but in filtration what we do, we use a filter paper. What we use? We use any filter we can use. That filter can be a filter paper, or sometimes you must have seen that we are using cloth, fine clothes we use at our home to remove some sediments. So filtration is a process in which what we have to do, let's see. So this is a container. Here either we keep filter paper like this, or some stainer we have kept, or we can use some cloth. And now when we will pour this mixture in it, this mixture, what is going to happen? The sand will remain inside the filter paper and the water will come here. Okay? So this is again a method of separation. Filtration is a method of separation in which we have separated the sediments into a filter we have used and the water into another container. So there is a very good example of this filtration at your home. You must have seen that when your mother makes tea, what she uses strainer to drain the tea. So tea gets separated and the leaves of the tea are separated differently. Okay, so that is one of the very good example of that. Or sometimes you must have seen when your mother makes paneer at your home, what she do, she takes some cloth and she removes the excess water from that, and the cheese remains inside the cloth. So all these methods in which we use something like a filter paper or some stainer or some clothes, so that is what that method is called, filtration. Okay, so I hope this was clear. This must be clear to you. Separating insoluble solids from liquid. In this we have learned the topic sedimentation, in which the sediment settles down in the bottom. Decantation is a method in which the clear liquid is being removed, and in filtration we use some filter. That can be any kind of filter, the process of removing insoluble impurities from water with the help of a filter. Okay, so this was about insoluble solids. Now we will see how we can separate the soluble solids. So let's see that also. So we have seen the separating method of insoluble solids. Now we will see the separating soluble solids from water, how we can separate the soluble solids in water. So soluble solids are like sugar is there, common salt is there. All these are soluble solids. When you dissolve it into water, dissolve in water. Okay, so there is a method of separating soluble solids from water, a method called evaporation. Okay, so evaporation is a method which helps us in separating soluble solids. What is evaporation? If we talk about evaporation, evaporation is a method in which what we have to do, we have to heat the water. Okay, so when solution is heated till the water is being lost into the air. If you keep water at your home also, just you boil it, what will happen? After some time the water starts evaporating. It is being lost in the air, and if you leave the container like that for a longer time, you will see that the whole water has been lost. Okay, so पूरा पानी जल गया और पानी खत्म होके एयर में चला गया as a evaporates as a gaseous form. Okay, so during this process the liquid is lost to the air and only the soluble solid is left behind. Okay, so for this let's do an experiment. We will take a china dish. In this china dish we will keep common salt. Okay, common salt plus water. It is a mixture of common salt and water. When you stir it, it will be dissolved. Now what we have to do, we have to keep this china dish and heat it with a burner. Okay, this is the burner. We need to heat it. When we are going to heat it, we will see that vapors are coming out like this from the china dish. And after heating for a long time, a time will come when all the water is being lost. You will see that there is no water left into the china dish. All the water has been lost to the air. Only some residues are left. Some residue is there. And you will be amazed to know what is that residue. Can you guess? That is the common salt. Okay, so जो soluble solid था वो बस डिस्क में रह जाएगा क्योंकि पानी तो पूरा evaporate हो गया. So that residue is what? That is the soluble solid. So evaporation is a method in which we separate soluble solids from water. Okay, so this was about the separation method. We have seen all the two methods of how we can separate the insoluble solid and how we can separate the soluble solids. Okay, so I hope this must be very clear to you all. So now we will see the composition of gases in air. If we will talk about air, air is all around us. We are just surrounded with the atmosphere that is full of air. Okay, and in fact we can say that air is what, it's like a blanket and it has covered our whole earth. Okay, when we sleep, what we do in winters, we cover ourselves with a blanket. Similarly, this earth is being covered with a blanket. That blanket is named as air, and it is because of this air that life is possible. Why? Because of this air life is possible, because this air contains a mixture of different kinds of gases, and it includes a gas that is oxygen, which is very essential for us to live. Okay, if there will be no oxygen, we can't live. So there is a composition of gases. The major part of the air is because of nitrogen. Nitrogen covers the 78% of the air. Okay, so 78% is being covered by nitrogen. So nitrogen plays the major role, means it is the biggest gas that covers the air. Okay, next comes the oxygen, which is 21%. 21% is oxygen. Fine. And the remaining 1% consists of different gases like argon is there, smoke. Okay, so this air along with these gases, it has got smoke plus water vapor. Fine. So air is a constant composition of different gases. We have seen this percentage. Please read this percentage carefully, and along with some smoke and water vapor. So this was all about the composition of air. Now we will see how this composition of air affects our weather, our atmosphere. Okay. Now we are going to discuss about the effect of air on weather. Before discussing, let's see what is wind. Okay. So if we talk about wind, wind is what? Wind is the air that is blowing in our atmosphere. When air is blowing in the atmosphere, it creates wind. That is a wind. Okay. So air moving, or you can say moving air is wind. Okay. Now what happens? This wind, how it flows? It flows from a cooler place. It blows from a cooler place to the hotter place. Wind always blows from cooler place to hotter place. Okay. तो एक wind, हमें पता क्या चला कि wind क्या है? जो भी air move कर रही है, moving air is wind, और ये wind हमेशा cooler place से hotter place की तरफ जाती है. Okay, now we will see कि इस wind जो blow होती है उसका क्या effect है? Effect of air on weather. How sea breeze and land breeze are being created. Okay. So what is going to happen when the sun is bright, when the sun shines, it is very hot and it creates the upper surface as a hot. Okay. So this is the sun. What will happen? Here is our land. So this hot sun, it heats the surface of land, heats the surface of land. Okay. So this land is being heated. What will happen? The air that is present on the upper surface of the land, it blows, it rises up. Why this air rises up? This hot air rises up. Can anybody give me the reason why hot air rises up? Yes, correct. Because this hot air is light in weight. Okay? Since this hot air is light in weight, it will rise up. And when this hot air rises up, there is a space being created. ये hot air यहाँ surface से हट गई, earth के surface से, land के surface से, तो यहाँ पे क्या होगा? ये space बन जाएगा. अब वो space किससे cover होगा? किसी दूसरे air से cover होगा. तो यहाँ पे फिर जो air आएगी, that will be the cooler air. Okay? Cooler air will occupy this space and the hot air will rise up. Okay? Now what will happen? This movement of the air, as we can see that hot air is rising up and the cool air is coming here. This movement of the air is called storm. Okay? And when this movement is very fast, it is going to create thunderstorm. Okay? There will be lightning, there will be thunderstorm will be there. So this is the basic phenomena. What is happening? Because of this, there are two types of different factors that weather causes. One is the sea breeze. The sea breeze occurs during the day, and the other one is our land breeze, which occurs during the night. Now let's see what happens during the sea breeze. During the sea breeze, the same thing is going to happen. Our land क्या होगा, जो कूल एयर है उसको ऑक्यूपाई कर लेगा और इसको हम क्या बोलेंगे, सी ब्रीज। ओके, दिस इज गोइंग टू अकर ड्यूरिंग द डे। नाउ द कंफ्यूजन इज दैट मेनी टाइम्स स्टूडेंट्स आस्क दैट वी गेट कंफ्यूज्ड when to write about sea breeze and when there is a land breeze. So when the cooler air comes from the sea, it is sea breeze. Remember this, cooler air is coming from sea, so it is sea breeze. Now during the night opposite things happens. Night में क्या होगा, हमारा जो लैंड है वो जितने जल्दी गर्म होती है उतनी जल्दी ठंडी भी हो जाती है. So this is going to be cool and the sea air will be hotter. So the vice versa is going to take place. The near the sea the air is very hot, so the hot air will rise up and the cool air from the land will come to occupy this. Now this time the cool air is coming from the land. Okay, so that will be the land bridge. Okay, जिधर से cool air आएगी वो वाले bridge में याद करना है कि that will be sea bridge और land bridge. तो very simple it is कि डे टाइम में क्या होता है कि हमारा जो लैंड है अर्थ है गर्म हो गई, तो हॉट एयर ऊपर उठ गई और ठंडी एयर सी की तरफ से आ गई. और एट द नाइट व्हाट हैपेंस, द लैंड सरफेस इज कूल. लैंड का सरफेस कूल है लेकिन जो सी का सरफेस है वो कैसा है, वो हॉट है. तो अब क्या होगा कि सी का सरफेस हॉट है तो द हॉट एयर विल मूव फास्टर, इट विल राइज अप and the cool air from the land will come to the sea to cover the vacant space. Okay, so to take the place of the rising warm air, this always happens that the place of the warm air is being covered by the cool air, and because of that sea breeze and land breeze occurs. Okay, so this was about the effect of air on weather. Now we will talk about the monsoon winds. Okay, so now we will study about the monsoon winds. In the monsoon winds, what is going to happen during the summer season, the land of northern India and even the central India becomes very hot. Okay, so the land is very hot, but as I have already told you, when the land becomes hot, the hotter air rises up. So in the summer season, the land of the northern India and central India becomes very hot. Then the hot air starts rising up. Okay. Now when the hot air starts rising up, there has been a space of the air being created. So now this space is being covered by the cool air. This cool air will blow from where? It will come from Bay of Bengal, Arabian Sea and Indian Sea. As we all know that India is a peninsular country, it is being covered three sides by water. Okay, so one of the sides is being covered by Bay of Bengal, other one is Arabian Sea and the third is the Indian Ocean. So from all these sides, the cool air will start to come towards this the land of the north and central India, just to cover the space that has been created because of the hotter air that has risen up. Okay, so when these air they will come, a fast wind will start blowing and there will be a rainfall. Okay, so it will bring along with that rain. So this rainfall is called as the monsoon wind. इसका नाम monsoon wind क्यों रखा गया इसने? क्योंकि ये जो wind blow है इसकी वजह से क्या हुआ, monsoon आया. Monsoon मतलब क्या हुआ? Monsoon season is what? It's a rainy season. Rainy season को हम क्या बोलेंगे कि monsoon आ गया. Okay, so as a result, these winds they cause a lot of rainfall. Okay, so wind from the Bay of Bengal, Arabian Sea and Indian Sea, what they cause? They cause rainfall. That's why this type of wind is called as monsoon wind and it brings the rainy season. Okay, so this was being done. So now we will see ventilators and we will get to know what is ventilation. basically it means that after some time the room, if it is being closed for a longer time, it is going to have more water vapor, more carbon dioxide and less oxygen. कोई रूम बहुत देर से अगर बंद रहा, उसमें कोई एयर का पास नहीं हो रहा है कि एयर बाहर की एयर अंदर आए या अंदर की एयर बाहर जाए, तो थोड़ी देर के बाद after some time there will be a lots of कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड का बहुत ज़्यादा क्वांटिटी में हो जाएगा, वाटर वेपर्स क्वांटिटी में हो जाएगी और ऑक्सीजन कम हो जाती है उस रूम की। इसीलिए एक कॉन्सेप्ट आया जिसको बोलते हैं वेंटिलेटर्स। ओके, सो नाउ व्हाट विल हैपन इफ वी आर गोइंग टू लिव इन दैट एटमॉस्फेयर फॉर अ लॉन्गर टाइम where the windows are being closed, where there is air which is full of carbon dioxide, we can have many severe problems like nausea, or sometimes we are going to suffer from headache, or for some kind of fatigues can be there. Okay, so all these are some of the symptoms which occurs, and this kind of air is very unhealthy. ये जो air होगी जिसमें कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड की क्वांटिटी ज़्यादा होगी, ये क्या होगी, बहुत unhealthy होगी। So that's why we need ventilators. Now the question is, what is ventilators? Ventilators are used to replace the unhealthy air. जिस unhealthy air की अभी मैंने बात की, उस unhealthy air को remove करना, replace करना, उसके लिए ventilators लगते हैं. Okay? Air inside the room with the fresh air from outside. Okay, so you must have seen that in our houses. Above the window there is a small window that is called as ventilator, and this ventilation is being done, that is being kept open so that fresh air from the outside can come inside, and the bad air that is in the room, it can go out. As I have already told you that the hotter air becomes light in weight, so it is going to rise up. जो room में गर्म हवा होगी वो rise up करेगी और वेंटिलेटर के थ्रू बाहर निकल जाएगी, और जो फ्रेश एयर होगी वो वेंटिलेटर के थ्रू अंदर आ जाएगी। इससे क्या होगा, जो रूम का एटमॉस्फेयर वो चेंज हो जाएगा, कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड जो बहुत ज़्यादा हो गया था रूम में वो निकल जाएगा और ऑक्सीजन और आ जाएगी, एक हेल्दी इन्वायरमेंट रूम में हो जाएगा। ओके, सो वेंटिलेटर्स आर यूज्ड टू रिप्लेस द अनहेल्दी एयर इनसाइड द रूम विद द फ्रेश एयर फ्रॉम आउटसाइड। आउटसाइड से फ्रेश एयर आ गई और अनहेल्दी जो एयर थी, जो स्पेस क्रिएट हुई थी इस अनहेल्दी एयर के कारण, सो द वार्म एयर दैट हैज राइजन अप, दैट मूव्स आउट, एंड द स्पेस क्रिएटेड बिकॉज ऑफ दिस वार्म एयर इज बीइंग कवर्ड बाय द कूलर एयर। इससे रूम भी ठंडा हो जाएगा और रूम की जो एयर होगी वो भी हेल्दी हो जाएगी, मीन्स वो ऑक्सीजन रिच हो जाएगी। ओके, सो इफ विंडोज एंड रूम्स they are being in the rooms, the windows are, the purpose of windows is this, that it is going to be create a healthy environment, and it creates the flow of fresh air. Fresh air is coming and bad air is going out. Now in our room we use fan, we use coolers and we use ACs. Okay, so this fan helps the air to flow in the room. Okay, fan जब move करता है तो क्या होता है, air का flow होता है rooms में. It also makes our sweat, when we sweat it dries our sweat also, so that is the purpose of the fan. Now if we talk about cooler, air cooler sends air throughout the wet pads. We have seen wet pads are there in the cooler, from where they gives the air, thus making it cooler. The cooler humid air cools the room. Okay, so cooler humid air cools the room, but the drawback is that the cooler humid air, okay, brings humidity in the room. So what is required whenever we are having cooler, whenever we are using cooler, we should always have a cross ventilation. If there is no cross ventilation, the room is going to become very humid. Okay, अगर cross ventilation नहीं है, गंदी जो बेकार वाली unhealthy air बाहर नहीं निकलेगी, तो क्या होगा कि कूलर चलाने से बहुत humidity हो जाएगी. Fine. So however, this humidity increases when there is a rainy season and humidity in the atmosphere, it keeps the room cool. Okay. Now you must have seen the exhaust fan and chimneys at your home. So now let's see what is the purpose of these exhaust fan and chimney. Okay. So by these chimneys they are being used, or these exhaust fan they are used at home. So this exhaust fan you must have seen in your bathrooms. There are exhaust fan. Sometimes in our kitchen is also there is exhaust fan. If you go in large auditorium in cinema hall, there are lots of exhaust fans. So what is the concept of this exhaust fan? They keep the air in and out. Okay, what they do, they keep the air in our kitchen, and even in our bathroom, they keep the air fresh. Okay, so the bad air goes out and the fresh air comes in. Fine. So an exhaust fan replaces the stale air and from the fresh air. Fine. And the concept of chimney is also same. What does chimney do? A chimney also removes warm air from the kitchen. It is able to shut all the smokes. While cooking, lots of smoke is being generated. So what does the chimney do? The chimney shuts the smoke, the grease and other impurities which are coming out while cooking. Okay. So I think the concept of exhaust fan and chimney must be clear. So basically all these things are being used for ventilation purpose, for cross ventilation. Okay, that's why it is always good that ventilator should be opposite in the opposite direction of a window, so that a good ventilation can be caused. Okay, so this was all for today, students. Here I have completed the chapter 6, that is the solids, liquid and gases. I hope you have enjoyed the video, and if you have liked the video, don't forget to give a like button. If you have not subscribed our channel yet, please do subscribe it so that you can get the updates whenever that we are uploading.